everyone, I'm Kristin from Paige Simple, and in this video I'm going to show you some different things that you can create using our printable patterned paper. So our printable patterned paper comes in two different sizes. There's 8.5 by 11 inch, and then there's also a 12 by 12 size. And when you're printing this, just make sure some printers are able to print like full size, like full bleed to the edge of the paper, but a lot of printers actually require that there's a little border around. So you can see on this sheet that there's a white edge that goes all the way around, and sometimes that's unavoidable. So just keep that in mind. So occasionally you'll have to trim the edges if you don't have a printer that prints with a bleed. The 12 by 12 paper, depending on where you're printing and what their printing capabilities are, you might have to print on a larger than 12 by 12 sheet and then trim it down, or you might not be able to print this large at all. It just depends on where you're printing. So when you're printing these, depending on what you're using it for, you can print on a heavy cardstock, which is what I did here. You could also print on full sheet label paper, and then you can print on a lighter weight paper. It just depends what you're using the paper for. So the supplies that you need, again, it really depends what you're using this for, but I like to have glue dots on hand. I also always like to have tape on hand. And then you could use a paper trimmer or just scissors if you have scissors at home. For something I'm going to show you, you'll need a pen or some kind of writing utensil. And then I also have a 3/4 inch paper punch, and I'll show you what this is for in a minute. But my favorite use for the patterned paper is to use as a serving dish liner. So all I did here was I traced the inside of this dish. Actually, you know what I did? I measured it first, and then I drew a circle that was the same size as the inside of this dish, and then I literally just cut it out and placed it in the dish. And it serves as a nice liner for the food or whatever you're going to be displaying on your serving dish. Something else that you can do is to embellish letters or numbers. So I got this letter at Hobby Lobby, and I painted it white, but I just traced it on the patterned paper. I literally just traced it, and then I cut it out and I taped it to the front of this letter. So it's just a nice way to add another coordinated decoration to your party. And then the 3/4 inch hole punch or paper punch, I used it to make confetti. So you can just punch out circles, patterns that match your party. If I had printed, I should have actually thought ahead and printed this dual side, and you would have had a pattern on the back and on the front. But literally all you have to do is get this paper punch and just punch out little circles, and you have confetti that you can sprinkle around your party. You could fill balloons with the confetti, and it all coordinates with everything. So it's just a nice extra to have. There's so many other things that you can do with this that I don't have time to show you today, but I'm sure that your creative minds will lead you to something beautiful.